Have you ever noticed someone who is present, yet invisible? Someone who scrolls quietly, watches the world unfold, yet never shares a single post, photo, or story. You might even be that person yourself. Why do some people remain unseen in a world that celebrates attention and constant display? It's tempting to think they're shy, disconnected, or missing out. But beneath that quiet surface lies a rich, complex psychology, one tied to identity, control, subtle rebellion, and the freedom to live life on their own terms. Some live loudly online. Others live fully offline. And the difference is striking. For many, silence isn't emptiness. It's deliberate. It's choice. It's control. Social media has transformed how we measure value. Likes, comments, shares, reactions, they silently dictate what matters, shaping our moods and even our self-esteem. Every post becomes a performance. Every story a curated reflection of who we want the world to see. But some people step outside that loop. They watch more. They think before reacting. They feel without needing applause. Psychologists suggest that those who refrain from posting often demonstrate higher self-restraint, introspection, and emotional independence. They are not avoiding life, they are immersing in it. Choosing not to display yourself is its own form of power. It's a quiet assertion, I don't need validation to know my worth. Think about your last vacation. Did you stop mid-laugh or mid-walk to snap a picture? Some people rarely do. Life happens for them, not for an audience. Cooking a meal isn't a photo op. Watching a sunset doesn't demand a caption. Moments are raw, imperfect, and entirely theirs. This isn't antisocial behavior. It's the pursuit of authenticity. It's refusing to compress life into bite-sized highlights. And often, it's quietly transformative. Imagine a friend traveling through Europe. They take hundreds of photos, but never post a single one. You don't see their journey online, yet they remember every detail. The aroma of fresh bread in a Paris street, the sound of church bells at sunrise, the cold spray of a fountain in Rome. That memory belongs fully to them, untouched by expectation. Contrast that with someone who constantly posts, every meal, every sunset, every smile documented. The difference is subtle, yet the power of quiet, mindful living is undeniable. There's a freedom in experience that cannot be captured in likes or shares. Psychologists call this psychological ownership, the sense that a thought, a memory, or an experience belongs fully to you. Posting it online changes that. Suddenly, it's open to judgment, misinterpretation, even ridicule. Not posting becomes protection, not withdrawal. It's freedom. Freedom to experience life fully, without performance or audience approval. Even small, unseen acts, helping a neighbor, leaving a note of encouragement, pausing to watch a child play, carry profound meaning when they exist solely for the doer. There's power in keeping some parts of life sacred. Not every thought, every smile, every experience needs to be shared. Some things are richer when they are private. Some people choose silence after emotional burnout. Perhaps they once shared everything. Birthdays, vacations, milestones, until posting started to feel like performing rather than living. Imagine posting a sunset, then obsessing over likes, comments, or engagement. Slowly, life becomes less about living and more about approval. Anxiety creeps in. Enjoyment fades. So they quietly step back. No announcements, no drama, just a disappearance from the feed. In that quiet, they reclaim something priceless: identity, control, autonomy. And in the stillness, they find themselves again. They rediscover hobbies, passions, and joys that never needed validation. Not everyone retreats in peace. Some withdraw out of fear of judgment, misunderstanding, or rejection. Social media amplifies subtle anxiety called self-presentational pressure, the awareness that every word, emoji, or post is watched, analyzed, and dissected. For some, the cost of visibility outweighs the reward. They retreat not to disconnect, but to protect themselves. Yet the irony is profound. The quietest people online often have the richest inner lives. They aren't absent. They're overflowing with reflection, empathy, and understanding. Their stillness is a choice, a declaration that life is not for display. When someone stops posting, they stop chasing digital validation and start noticing real connections. It's no longer about counting likes. It's about feeling seen in ways that truly matter. Who remembers your birthday without a Facebook reminder? Who checks in on your life without expecting a post in return? These connections feel heavier, warmer, and more enduring. They don't require proof, captions, or hashtags. Choosing quiet forces you to notice the subtle richness of human interaction. The friend who texts just to ask, "Are you okay?" The neighbor who knocks without ceremony. The colleague who smiles when you walk in. These are gestures too small to trend, but huge for the soul. Knowing yourself even when nobody's watching isn't arrogance. It's peace. It's understanding that the truest moments of growth, grief, courage, and kindness often unfold unseen. And often, it's those unseen moments that shape us more than any public accolade ever could. People who live quietly often feel life more vividly. Their silence isn't emptiness. It's depth. It's presence. It's the ability to inhabit a moment without a lens, without a filter, without needing an audience. Have you ever felt a moment so fully, without documenting it, that it belonged only to you? Maybe it's the first sip of coffee on a rainy morning, the warmth of sunlight on your face during a late afternoon walk, or the subtle way someone's laughter makes you feel at home. Imagine walking through a city street after a storm. You smell rain on asphalt, hear quiet laughter from strangers, feel the weight of a hug, and notice the soft sway of tree branches, all without a phone in hand. Those moments exist entirely for you. They are intimate, fleeting, and profound. They are life lived without compromise. Not every joy is meant for the crowd. Not every heartbreak needs a post. Some of life's richest experiences unfold unseen, unposted, and quietly transformative. They are yours, raw, real, and undiluted. Here's the paradox. In a world addicted to visibility, the quiet ones often have the loudest inner lives. They notice more. They reflect more. They understand more. Their experiences are more layered because they are lived, not broadcast. Silence doesn't mean absence. Being unseen doesn't mean unimportant. Often, it signals wisdom, the understanding that life doesn't need validation to be meaningful. You don't need followers to prove you exist. Your experiences, your feelings, and your memories are proof enough. Next time you see someone who never posts, don't assume emptiness. Don't assume absence. They may be living more fully than anyone online. They've stepped out of the constant performance and into reality, watching, reflecting, feeling deeply, privately. They notice the rain, the quiet laughter, the weight of a hug. They savor meals without sharing, trips without documenting, victories without applause. And in those moments, you might catch a glimpse of what freedom really feels like. Presence, peace, and life lived wholly, not for likes, comments, or views, but entirely for yourself. Maybe the lesson isn't to post more. Maybe it's to live more, to notice, to feel, to be. And in doing so, to discover that some of the richest, most transformative experiences exist entirely beyond the gaze of the world. If you like this, I share more content like this all the time. Hit subscribe so we can stay connected.